Good afternoon, everyone. Ads here from Unity Trading Group. Welcome to your Monday night update. Fantastic to be back. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I certainly did. Some dips to look at after the weekend, a new level of supply to look at. But before we start, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Helps us out a lot, and share to anyone who you think will find value in what we do here at UTG, and you can find us at www.unitytradinggroup.com. All the links are in the description below. So before we go on, thank you for all who watched the last video on our COT, the CME commitment of traders. I hope you all found some value in that. If you haven't already, check on our channel and have a look at that video. There is some very vital information that you have to keep, on your radar and look at from time to time to see what is going on with BTC and where the volume is coming from in the way of the CME anyway. So BTC right now, what are we looking at? If I can get my drawing tool, here we go. So we've formed another level of supply right now that I've outlined in green, very short term. However, on this 4-hour time frame, if it's short term on the macro scale, but on a 4-hour time frame, it's where we pushed down from. It is the top of the leg from 13.5 to 15.750. So not a bad level of supply right now to be looking at. And it was formed basically with one of these red candles at the top here. And now we're retesting this twice now over the course of today. So what do I expect to happen from here? The follow-up hasn't been as strong as I would have expected it to be after this drop. I would have expected us to get more volume into this and a little bit more candle structure that's come through. And we'll look at a few bits and pieces while I look for the volume. There we go. So the volume has dropped off since obviously our moves to the upside and our drop here. We did buy off the 50 fibs quite strong, to be honest. A decent wick to the downside and a buy up and a decent close above that 50 Fibonacci. But we are now teetering at this very short-term level of supply here. Whether or not we have the volume to push through it or not, I'll be keeping a very close eye on this within the Discord and of course during our sessions across the course of this week. And of course, we've got the live session for tomorrow night if you want to tune in and we can go through the markets live, and you can give us some requests if you have any in the YouTube comments and the Discord as well. But looking at further breaking down BTC, we've been respected on our 50 median line on the RSI, and we are moving semi to the upside right now in the way of steamroller. Steamroller's giving us another exhaustion on the 4-hour time frame. The indicators, however, apart from steamroller, we're looking at just teetering within that 70 and 60 area for the RSI, and the CCI is not doing a whole lot, to be honest with you, just moving throughout that channel that we're used to seeing on the CCI. If we scroll out and look at the daily time frame, however, and I move that down a little bit, so we are getting our second sell signal on steamroller for this move entirely from this 10,000 to its 15.5 or 16k. We are getting the second signal coming up today. So this could be a turning point for BTC. Are we going to see 16k again, or are we going to move to the downside? Is this the next lower high for BTC? Oh, excuse me. Is this the next higher high for BTC after breaking that 14k previous high? And are we going to see a pullback that will create our next higher low for the next market cycle for BTC? That remains to be seen. And I'm watching this closely, to be honest. We have had a triple top on our CCI, on the daily time frame, and of course this RSI is just bouncing off this 70 mark, and we've got a long way to fall if we're going to retest this median line at the 50 RSI level for the daily time frame. There's a lot of areas that could be the area for this, for an eventual pullback. Obviously, looking at this very sharp uptrend at the moment that we're looking at, if we do get a pullback towards our 50 fibs or even our 61.8 at 14, that would allow us to hold that trend line to the upside. But if we start breaking trends and testing demands, that would be even more healthy for BTC, in my opinion. especially on a macro scale of things where we've been bought up quite quickly. We did have a drop from that 16K all the way to 14.4, and we have been bought up quite significantly, and we are sitting around this level of supply. Honestly, just waiting for a little bit of structure to present itself, especially looking at the 4-hour time frame. That's the time frame I'm looking at mostly, because the daily's not telling me much. There's a lot of just candles up and down, and we're not moving in either direction substantially if we're looking at a macro scale. So I am looking at the 4-hour time frame. I am looking for this supply to either be respected or we start moving through it, and looking like it's going to be respected for the moment, but it has swung quite violently, quite quickly in the past. So I'll probably wait and see if we get some more movements to the downside from here, or if we retest this level once again. Moving on, we'll have a look at Ethereum, ETHUSD. Where are we? So ETH, we have been moving to the upside quite sharply after we broke out of that descending downtrend or descending channel to the downside. And I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. We moved from, around that 372 all the way up to about 465. And I haven't looked at this since we looked at this on Friday. But very, very impressive for Ethereum. We just fell short of that supply zone that we had drawn in at about 475, 473. And we did retest and get rejected now at this 88.6 level of fibs. And again, exactly like BTC, we are sitting at a very short-term level of supply there, and we've been trying to push through and make grounds into it, but there've been a little bit more selling pressure than buying pressure at this level that we're observing. So looking for ETH to make that decision. Are we going to come down and retest this level at 410, 405, or are we going to retest this area at 475? We are in like no man's land, the same sort of thing as BTC, so we are waiting for a move to either side to give us that market direction. We have made a high, we have made a lower low, we have made a higher low at the moment. We are waiting for a little bit more information if we're going to continue this and make a lower low, or we're going to break this and make another higher high. It's just a 50-50 shot if you ask me right now, and I'm waiting for more information. Sorry if I can't give you any more details than that. It's literally that simple. We are waiting for a break either side of this level of supply, and I'm sure we'll get that quite soon. And the last one I'll look at this evening is not the ASX, is the DXY regulated market. Nothing you should, this is not financial advice. I should give the standard speech. This is not financial advice, only ideas and opinions of Team UCG. And we are sitting below this level of demand now, and we have been slipping to the downside for quite some time. So I do expect some sort of relief over the next little bit, get rid of these two zones, and we can draw in the next ones. So the next ones that I look at is a very short-term level of supply here, and then another short-term level of supply here-ish now. So if we get our bounce from here, I know it's in the middle of nowhere. If I draw in our Fibonacci, however, our overall fibs from swing low to swing high, one moment. Yeah, a very easy one to identify. We could see this 88.6 before we get a retest of these levels. The ones I'm looking for is something like this to happen, something like a rolling bowl there, and we've got this 92.008 level to look for right now. And if we get some more further movements to the upside to really satisfy these indicators, most notably steamroller, I can see this going up to the 78.6 and even up again to our level of supply there for a short-term relief, if not a movement further than that, pending the break of these levels and some substantial volume coming into this market. Towards the bulls, I guess you'd be looking for the other markets like euro, gold and stuff to start to descend and start to get a short bias. But yeah, that really concludes our update tonight. In short, waiting for some more information in the crypto space, most notably BTC and Ethereum. They are at a critical level at the moment, and we are waiting for a break either side on the smaller time frames. And the DXY looking for some relief, to be honest, after we've been slipping for quite some time, since 94 all the way down to 92.20, looking for some movements to the upside just to satisfy these indicators, whether or not we get a push through this or we get a rejection to come and continue our level down. that remains to be seen, but I'm looking for that volume over the course of this evening and most notably tomorrow evening after our live session to really confirm our direction. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you can. All the likes and subscriptions helps us out a lot, and I'll see you in the Discord in the meantime. Bye for now.